My name's Dorothy Shepherd and I'm Head of Corporate HR for Mitchells Butlers. We're the UK's biggest pub and restaurant retailer, and we have 40,000 employees. We work in both the UK and in Germany, and we run 16 brands that you'll have heard of, so All Bar One, Harvester, O'Neill's. Particularly in the last 2 years, we've been able to actually quantify that employee engagement actually has a real benefit to the bottom line of the business. You know, instinctively we all know it, but what we've been able to prove is that the more engaged our employees are, the better our sales performance will be. And actually, there's also an impact on profitability as well. One of the things that I think, without digital opinions help, we wouldn't have got to the bottom of is we all think instinctively we know why people would leave and what drives engagement. But actually, when you look at the statistics, it's not always your lowest scoring area or the thing that people talk about most that actually makes the difference to engagement. So what the analysis has helped us to do is to really understand what is driving engagement. So rather than just basing that on instinct, we can base it on some really good facts. What we've been able to do this year, because we've surveyed retail staff for the first time last year, and we've repeated the survey again this year, so all our 40,000 people had the opportunity to input into a survey. And what we found was that where managers took action on that particular area, their staff satisfaction increased by 6.8 mean score points. So actually the action that people took, where they took action, it increased that score by 6.8 mean points. So what we've also been able to establish is taking action based on the result actually increases engagement in that area. You can imagine for a pub manager how many claims there are on their time. So, you know, it's really important their pubs are safe and clean and all of those things. So in order to make them understand that engagement was really something they should put on their agenda, we absolutely had to conclusively prove that it would make a difference to their sales performance. So what we needed to have was a report that they could pick up and read and understand almost instantly. So Digital Opinion worked with us to create something very bespoke, very easy to read, but actually very insightful in terms of what you should actually take action on. We then did a webcast, and I sat on that and explained to people over a kind of video, a training video, if you like, why engagement was important. And actually our chief executive headed that up. So what that meant was that for every manager, they saw the chief executive committing to how important engagement was. And that's really because Digital Opinion, with the work that they've done with us in terms of the analysis and the reportage and the fact that they come in and talk to our senior team about engagement, means that actually everybody's bought into the concept. So it's actually not that difficult to get your chief executive to be videoed to talk about it, because actually he's very passionate about it as a result. We've had an online planning tool last year, and the online planning tool enabled, again, in a very unpaper intensive way and actually quite an engaging way, which I guess is important, for managers to tell us what they were doing with their survey results at their pub or restaurant. So rather than them having to send an email or to, you know, get together with their area manager, they could very quickly just input online the three things that they were doing to make a difference in their business. What we were able to do was then collate those in, have a look at them. People who work in particular brands, so say the Harvester HR business partner was able to look at everything that people were committing to doing in Harvester and to kind of draw some threads out of that and to share best practice. So that's been really important for us. And as I said, what we were able to do, because we'd got all that feedback online, was to analyse it from an organisational perspective. So that's how we know that where people have taken action on particular questions, their mean score has increased by 6.8 points, because actually we collected the data in a really helpful way. It's been quite a gradual process, because I think in order to make your executive team understand the value of it, you have to prove that over time. You don't expect to be able to get money for something and then not prove that that was really worthwhile for the business to spend its money on. And I think what we've been able to do is to, initially with the corporate survey, show that actions we were taking actually made a difference to whether or not people wanted to stay with us and how they felt about being employed at Mitchells and Butlers. With our LHMs and including them, once again we were able to take that to the next level and say, right, okay, taking action in these areas has improved our turnover. With the retail team members, because we've got such a good amount of data, we've been able to link it to the business metrics. So I think now what that says is, well, it's a no-brainer to not do this every year. And what we're looking to do this year is to actually link it into our reward metrics. So actually engagement becomes something that we reward just as we reward sales performance. Because actually it's just another aspect of running a really good business.